Today we are going to present different equipments of used for compaction. So basically, a lot has been said about compaction. Is already you know much about compaction. What is compaction? In a simple way, if I can summarize it, when we want to increase the density of soil mass and decrease its volume, this process is basically called compaction. Now, for this specific presentation, we have come up with a job-specific template. It is a specific construction template, and we have been tried to be very intuitive and specific. So, we have summarized, or we have described all these compaction equipments in a single slide, and furthermore, we have added a real-life videos in order to strengthen the concept of compaction equipment. So there are 5 different types of compaction equipments. Out of these 5 equipments, I will be touching on only 2 equipments. My team members are myself, Amir Hamza, Sadala Seherai, Dr. Shah, and Junaid Shah. I will be touching on, as I said, on these 2 types of compaction equipment. It has these smooth wheel roller, smooth drum roller, and second is the pneumatic Tyre roller. Moving on to the smooth wheel roller. So basically the name itself implies that the drum or the wheels used in this type of roller should be smooth, and the finish if it gives should be a smoother finish. There is absolutely no protrusion, no partition whatsoever in between the tires or on the drums. These drums are completely smooth. Depending on the number of drums, either there are 2 drums or there is only a single drum. These these type of roller are divided into 2 subtypes, namely tandem rollers and 3-wheeled roller or single drum roller. In the tandem drum roller or the tandem roller, basically there are 2 drums. 2 drums placed on the front end and on the rear end of the roller. So, and moving on to the next type of roller, smooth wheel roller, that is called the 3-wheeled roller. In the 3-wheel roller, either we have two smooth drum on the rear end or on the front end, or we have tube tires on the rear end on the front end, 2 in number, and one large drum that is either mounted on the back end or on the front end of the roller. This type of roller is very suited, and it is ideal for loose soil, silt, sand, and asphalt compaction. So on the next slide, I will be covering the pneumatic tire roller. The pneumatic tire roller, basically, it has several rows of tube tire wheels, either on the front end or on the back end or on the either ends. So basically, the idea comes: how can a rubber tire or a tube tire compact this soil? So before that and after that, you are using these heavy drums and these sheet-put rollers and compaction under the handheld vibratory rammers. How can these rubber tires compact soil mass? This is a good question. So basically, the tires used or the rubber used in this type of roller is very job specific. It has a solid surface. It is a very hard rubber, and the hard rubber is added by this heavy pressure that is present inside the tube. So there is high pressure. So the tubes are, of course, they are elastic. They can become very harder and harder and harder. So these, they have rows or either on the front end or on the back ends. So basically, they can cover not 100% area. They can cover only 80% area. So engineers have thought how to come up with an ideal design to cover the 100% area. So this is a good question. This is an ideal thinking. They come up with the idea of having even and odd number of wheels either on the front end and alternatively on the rear end. So in this way, we can cover the whole up to 99% this coverage area. So this type of roller This type of roller is suitable for pavements, specifically asphalt pavements or cold lead bituminous pavements. So these smooth wheel roller and the pneumatic tire roller are very common in Pakistan, especially when I moved to my home from Peshawar to Badachinas. I see these roller on this Dara road and Hambu to Hart road. So these are commonly employed in Pakistan. Moving on to the next slide, I have put two videos in my presentation. The first one will be depicting this smooth wheel roller, and the second one will be depicting this pneumatic tire roller. So this one is we are seeing is a real life example from somewhere from India, and converted this video YouTube courtesy of them. So this is showing a real life example of a smooth wheel roller moving on a road. We can move on to the next slide. This type of roller, as I have already covered, this is called pneumatic tire roller. You can see in this video it is moving on the road, it is carpeting asphalt and bitumen. So this is heavily and commonly employed in Pakistan and many parts of India and the subcontinent. So that's all from my side. Now I will call on Mr. Sadala Sehai to resume this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anirudh. I will now talk about sheep foot rollers. They are also known as static rollers or pad foot rollers. They have many rectangular pads at their drums. So the speeds they travel at 6 to 10 kilometers, and its pressure is 1400 to 7000 kilopascal. And they may be of static type or vibrating type, and they are used in heavy silt or clay dams, embankments. Their main disadvantage is that they cannot be traveled directly to the side because of the pads. They will damage the roads, etc., on which they are traveled. So main disadvantage is that they cannot be traveled easily to the side. Thank you from my side. Now I will invite Punesh. Here is an animation of the pad foot roller. Now I will invite Punesh to proceed.
So thank you, Mr. Sadala Sehai, for inviting me. So here is the discussion about compaction equipments. So what if I want to compact the soil of this room? I will not be able to bring a heavy road roller or any other heavy material that is used for a compaction. So I will face two problems. First problem is that I am not able to enter a roller or any heavy machinery and run it over here. The second problem is that this is a very small area, and it will be very costly and will not be economically to run it over here. So the best option for this is the rammer. So rammer is a lightweight compaction equipment which is used for the compaction of small areas by using the impact load to the soil. So namely there are three types of the compaction equipment. Number one is the dropping weight type. The second one is the internal combustion, and the third one is the pneumatic type. So its weight is from 30 to 1 ton depending on the size of the rammer. It has a frequency of 500 to 750. It means that it will hit the soil with the help between 500 to 750. It will hit the soil of 500 to 750 per minute, times per minute. Its base dimension is 15 cm by 15 cm, 20 cm by 20 cm, or it may be more, depending on the size. And it is powered by a fossil fuel or maybe gasoline engine or any other fuel. So it is used, as I mentioned earlier, that it is used for a small area, like trenches. We cannot use a heavy roller or heavy machinery for the trenches. So the best option for the trenches is the rammer. We can also use it behind the bridges. as bridges and abutments, because we cannot use heavy machinery in the difficult areas. We cannot run a roller, so we can use it behind the bridges and abutments. So it is also used for the interior floor. We can use it for the repairing of roads and pavements. So please next slide. So here are this guy is just compacting the trenches with the help of the rammer. Here is a picture, and here he is making a base. He is making a base for the pipe system. So here it is a video, simple video. This video shows how does it work, and it shows the compaction process. It consists of 2 springs and works very good. Here it is just hitting the soil. So with the help of this impact loading, it compacts the soil. Yes, so now I would like to invite Mr. Bakhtar Shah. Thank you.
Thank you there for inviting me. First of all, I would like to thank Samir Hamza for preparing this presentation. Now, the remaining part will be proceeded by me. So, vibrating drum and smooth wheel ruler. Usually, we see in our presentation smooth wheel ruler and vibrating drum on a smooth wheel ruler. The basic difference between these two are, as you guys have seen in many videos, that in vibrating drum and smooth wheel ruler, we have we have vibrating drum, a device to which we can vibrate the soil. We can also differentiate between these two as the vibrating drum and smooth wheel ruler is used when we have more wires in the soil and we want to compact them, and we want to not left spaces inside between them. Now, this type of compaction equipment can be considered, or this type of compaction equipment can be used for the following reasons. For higher compactions level, and also when you want to have a maximum work, this type of device or compacting device can be used. Also, when we want to have compaction up to greater depth, so by the help of vibrating, we can move or we can reach to the depth, or we can reach to the beneath level of the ground. Also, the output of vibrating drum and smooth wheel ruler is more much as compared to the other or the past which our group member or my group members discussed. And we can also ensure that the cost or the expensiveness of vibrating drum and smooth wheel ruler is much as compared to others. But because of their performance, or because of their much use, because of their higher outputs, we can use them and we can support them, and we can use them for long time. So this is a picture of vibrating drum and smooth wheel ruler. We have a vibrating drum here, and because with the help of this vibrating drum, we can smoothly, or we can compact them up to greater depth. Thank you so much. This was all from my side and from my group side here.